Welcome to this episode of the Harpreet Singh Show. I'm a host, Harpreet Singh from Surrey, British Columbia, Canada. First of all, happy Canada Day to all the people watching from all over the world, and especially to the Canadians. It's with great pride and privilege I would like to introduce today Rickey Kej, who is a well-known figure in the musical and the environmental field. He's associated with many United Nations committees where he goes and travels all over the world and spreads the message of sustainable and peaceful living. He is a Grammy Award winner, a composer, a music producer, an environmentalist, and humanitarian. Let's welcome Rickey Kej to the program and talk to him about all the feats that he has accomplished. Rickey, thank you very much and welcome to the program.
Thank you so much. Such an honor to be on your show. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. So, Rickey, before I continue talking to you, as it is Canada Day, you had composed our national anthem in a different way. I would like to start with that so that our viewers have a understanding as to what kind of quality work you do. So let's start with the national anthem of Canada, which you had composed in a very different manner, which was not done earlier. So let's start with that. Beautiful. Everybody must be saying, wow, that's a wonderful composition which you did. So congratulations and thanks for this wonderful initiative which you took. So I'd just like to touch with this, love, sustain and prevail. That's what you wrote in the end. Your interest towards music, I have interviewed before also, but this is the first time we are doing a live audience where people from all across the world have joined in this program. So a little bit about yourself, your interest in music, how did it start? We know you were a dentist because your father wanted you to have a professional degree. So you had that, but your passion towards music was one which attracted you towards this field. And now you're an international figure. So how did this all start?
So ever since I remember as a child, I've always been an environmentalist. So I've always been a musician and an environmentalist. And so basically these two careers pretty much merged. And as you said, it's basically in our 12th standard that we have to make a very strong decision as to what we want to do for the rest of our lives. And my father, being a third generation doctor, felt that, that I needed to be either a doctor or an engineer or a dentist. So after a lot of fighting with my father, we reached a compromise that I would finish off a degree in dental surgery. And once I finish off that degree, my life was my own and he wouldn't question me as to what I would do for the rest of my life. So I finished off that degree, I gave him the certificate, and I became a full-time musician after that. So I did not even practice for a single day. There was never any intention to be a dentist, but it was just something that I did to keep my father happy. And as they say, there was no looking back after that.
Right, absolutely. And of course, when I just, there's so much to talk about the work that you have done, but let's focus today on, because it's Canada Day and this national anthem, what you composed. So it was a different idea which you came to your mind and you brought it forward. So what made you think to bring a different kind of approach to the national anthem of Canada and you brought it this way?
So, as you know, in 2018, I was all set to perform in Canada. I think it was the month of July. And what I normally do is that because every month I'm performing in usually about 3 or 4 different countries. And before coming to Canada, I was just studying a little bit about Canada, and I realized that the natural history of Canada is so beautiful and also vastly unexplored. So that is why I wanted to make a tribute to the natural history of Canada. And, whenever we do any kind of patriotic songs or we do versions of the national anthem in any country in the world, we always showcase the celebrities of that country, the leaders of that country, the politicians, the people, basically the humans of that country. And I wanted to showcase that Canada is so much more than just humans, in the sense that there are these other citizens of Canada who are the natural citizens of Canada, who have been in Canada long before any humans have ever set foot on the land. So I wanted to showcase those citizens of Canada, that is the animals, the wildlife, the species of Canada, and to showcase these people as being being much, I mean, basically showcasing that Canada is much more than just humans. So that is why I created this particular anthem, and that's it. Yeah.
Great. And what was the experience working with this kind of work?
The experience was, of course, amazing because I got to study a lot about Canada during the process, and I learned so much. And also, I saw that people appreciated it, and when you showcase a particular video like this, where you have the wildlife and you have the forests of a particular country, that is in this case Canada, along with the national anthem, it shows a piece of response. I mean, it sort of inculcates a sense of responsibility in the citizens that that we need to protect, we need to conserve, we need to sustain our beautiful natural landscapes in order for our own survival, because at the end of the day, our survival depends upon the survival of the natural world.
Absolutely, and that is why love, preserve and sustain, that's the motto on which you have been working and you have been continuing your work. It's really commendable. We are proud of the achievements that you have achieved, and as an Indian, when you have been in Canada also and you have worked on such a beautiful work, it really makes us proud. And especially being on Canada Day, everybody is watching this and the real wonder of Canada has been showcased. So once again, thank you. It's time for a short break. We'll go for a break, we'll be back, but we'll continue with the journey of how you are spreading the message of environmentalism. Why is it important? Is the climate really changing? And if yes, what all we need to do? Is it just by holding workshops or seminars we will be able to hold this? Or we have to do something more? We have to work on sustainability and a peaceful thrival of every species on this earth. So we'll talk all about this after this short break. So we'll be shortly back.
Karen thought she won a gift card, but we had a much bigger surprise for her. We rise by lifting others. Basant Motors.
ਲੈਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੋ ਨਵੇਂ ਤੇ ਵਧੀਆ ਅਪਲਾਈਐਂਸਸ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਕਿ ਸਟੋਵ, ਓਵਨ, ਫ੍ਰਿਜ, ਵਾਸ਼ਰ ਡਰਾਇਰ, ਮਾਈਕ੍ਰੋਵੇਵ, ਫ੍ਰੀਜ਼ਰਸ ਜਾਂ ਡਿਸ਼ਵਾਸ਼ਰ, ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਪਹੁੰਚੋ ਪ੍ਰੀਮੀਅਮ ਅਪਲਾਈਐਂਸਸ ਤੇ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ 3 ਬ੍ਰਾਂਚਸ ਸਰੀ, ਐਬਟਸਫੋਰਡ ਤੇ ਚਿਲਵੈਕ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਨ। ਇੱਥੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਵਾਜਬ ਕੀਮਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਅਪਲਾਈਐਂਸਸ ਮਿਲਣਗੇ। ਇਹ ਡਿਲੀਵਰੀ ਤੇ ਇੰਸਟਾਲੇਸ਼ਨ ਵੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਨ। ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਪੈਕੇजेस ਫॉर ਬਿਲਡਰਸ ਐਂਡ ਹੋਮ ਓਨਰਸ। ਕਾਲ 6045904140 604 590 4140। ਸ਼ਾਈਨ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਡੈਂਟਲ ਕਲੀਨਿਕ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਸਤਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਦੀ ਦੇਖਰੇਖ ਹੇਠ ਆਧੁਨਿਕ ਮਸ਼ੀਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਵਰਤੋਂ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਦੰਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਸਹੀ ਕੇਅਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਨ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਸੇਵਾਵਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਦੰਦਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਫ਼ ਕਰਨਾ, ਕਰਾਊਨਸ, ਬ੍ਰਿਜਸ, ਡੈਂਟਲ ਇੰਪਲਾਂਟਸ, ਰੂਟ ਕਨਾਲ, ਡੈਂਚਰਸ, ਬੌਂਡਿੰਗ ਅਤੇ ਵਨੀਰਸ, ਐਕਸਟ੍ਰੈਕਸ਼ਨਸ, ਬੋਨ ਕ੍ਰੈਫਟਿੰਗ ਆਦਿ ਸ਼ਾਮਲ ਹਨ। ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਡੈਂਟਿਸਟਰੀ ਦੇ ਵੀ ਮਾਹਰ ਹਨ। ਇਹ ਇੰਸ਼ੋਰੈਂਸ ਕੰਪਨੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਡਾਇਰੈਕਟਲੀ ਬਿੱਲ ਭੇਜਦੇ ਹਨ ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਘੱਟ ਤੋਂ ਘੱਟ ਚਾਰਜ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ ਵਾਅਦਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਨ। ਫॉर ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਸ਼ਾਈਨ ਐਂਡ ਸਮਾਈਲ 604 503 0320 ਤੇ ਕਾਲ ਕਰੋ। ਕਿੰਗ ਜਾਰਜ ਸੁਪਰ ਸਟੋਰ ਦੇ ਕੋਲ, ਯੂਨਿਟ 370 7488 ਕਿੰਗ ਜਾਰਜ ਬੁਲੇਵਾਰਡ, ਸਰੀ। ਸਵਾਗਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੀ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰ ਫਿਰ ਆਪ ਸਭ ਦਾ ਇਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਵਿੱਚ। ਸਾਨੂੰ ਬੜਾ ਮਾਣ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਰਿਕੀ ਕੇ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਗ੍ਰੈਮੀ ਅਵਾਰਡ ਵਿਨਰ ਨੇ, ਇੰਟਰਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਸੈਂਸੇਸ਼ਨ ਨੇ ਅਤੇ ਇਹ ਇਨਵਾਇਰਮੈਂਟਲਿਸਟ ਵੀ ਨੇ, ਹਿਊਮੈਨਿਟੇਰੀਅਨ ਵੀ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਅੱਜ ਮੁੰਬਈ ਤੋਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਂਝ ਪਾ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਦੇ ਸੰਬੰਧ ਵਿੱਚ। ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਐਂਥਮ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਦਾ ਕੰਪੋਜ਼ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ। ਇਸੇ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਗ੍ਰੈਮੀ ਅਵਾਰਡ ਜੋ ਜਿੱਤਿਆ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਇੱਕ ਐਲਬਮ ਹੈ ਜਿਸ ਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਹੈ ਸੰਸਾਰਾ, ਉਹ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਮਸ਼ਹੂਰ ਹੈ, ਜਿਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਕਲਾਕਾਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਭਰ ਦੇ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਇਹ ਮਿਊਜ਼ਿਕ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੰਪੋਜ਼ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ ਉਹ ਅੱਗੇ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਏ। ਉਸ ਬਾਰੇ ਵੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨੇ ਅਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਸਸਟੇਨੇਬਿਲਿਟੀ ਅਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਇਸ਼ੂਜ਼ 'ਤੇ ਵੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨੇ ਆ। ਪਰ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਦੱਸ ਦਈਏ ਕਿ ਅੱਜ ਦਾ ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਤੱਕ ਪਹੁੰਚਾਇਆ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਜੈਸ ਓਬਰਾਏ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਰੀਮੈਕਸ ਬਲੂਪ੍ਰਿੰਟ ਰਿਐਲਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਰੀਅਲਟਰ ਨੇ। ਸਰੀ, ਕਲੋਵਰਡੇਲ ਅਤੇ ਫਰੇਜ਼ਰ ਵੈਲੀ ਦੇ ਇਹ ਟੌਪ ਰੀਅਲਟਰ ਹਨ। जेकर कार खरीदना है या बेचना है तो फिर हमेशा याद रखो जैस ओब्राय नो इन्हां दा फोकस हुंदा इंटेग्रिटी कमिटमेंट ते रिजल्ट्स दे उत्ते 7789947450 778 994 7450 इन्हां दा नंबर है ਅਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਈਮੇਲ ਹੈ joe@jassobrai.ca। ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਬੜੀ ਖਾਸੀਅਤ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਕਲਾਇੰਟਸ ਦਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਧਿਆਨ ਰੱਖਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਜੇਕਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਕਲਾਇੰਟ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਫੋਨ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਇਹ 24 ਘੰਟੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵਾਪਸ ਕਾਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਤਾਂ $500 ਕੈਸ਼ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਦੇਣਗੇ। ਨੰਬਰ ਫਿਰ ਨੋਟ ਕਰ ਲਓ 7789947450। ਸਾਡੇ ਅਗਲੇ ਸਹਿਯੋਗੀ ਹਨ ਐਕਮੀ ਗਲਾਸ, ਕਸਟਮ ਕਲੋਜ਼ਟਸ, ਫਰੇਮਲੈਸ ਗਲਾਸ ਰੇਲਿੰਗ, ਡਿਫਰੈਂਟ ਕਾਈਂਡ ਆਫ ਸ਼ਾਡੋਜ਼, ਮਿਰਰ ਅਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਗਲਾਸ ਵਰਕ ਕਰਵਾਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੋ ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਐਕਮੀ ਗਲਾਸ ਨੂੰ ਕਰੋ ਫੋਨ 604-543-8777 604-543-8777 Unit 8335 129th Street, Surrey. So let's welcome again Rickey Kej and continue the discussion what we talked about before the break. So Rickey, you have been a Grammy Award winner and Samsara, your album is well known. I would just like to touch a little bit upon the music aspect because right now also, even during the COVID times also, you have been interacting with your audience all over the world virtually. So your music is in your blood. It's a passion for you, but it's a different kind of music where you try to bring the different cultures, the different ideas together, and then you come forward. So during the past 2-3 months since there has been a lockdown, what all has been going on? Please let us know about that.
So, of course, the pandemic has been very confusing times, and it's been a complete shift in all of our lifestyles, as you also may concur. The thing is that a lot of my concerts had gotten cancelled over the next 2 months. I think more than about 14 or 15 concerts in about 6 countries of mine have gotten cancelled. And I was wondering that how do I reach out to my audience? Because being a musician, I want to constantly express myself and I want to reach out to my audience, especially with my music, which is all about the environment. The message becomes really important and I have to continue advocating that message on the environment. So I decided to do these online concerts. And when I started doing these online concerts, I realized that, that it's as easy to collaborate with a musician who is living 3 houses down the road from mine, as easy as it is to collaborate with a musician who is in New York or who is in Canada or is in South America or something like that. Because with an online concert, the world is pretty much your playground. So then that is when I started opening up my mind, opening up my horizons, and I started realizing that, that I can collaborate with anybody in the world. And I can reach out to audiences anywhere in the world. So that was, of course, the advantage of doing an online concert. But the biggest disadvantage of doing an online concert is that you do not get immediate feedback from your audience, because being a live performer, I'm always feeding off the energy of my audience, and that was not possible. But this is just something that we all need to get used to. And I've done about 3 major live online concerts, and we've reached out to more than 200 million viewers during this time, which was pretty much impossible with an on-ground concert. So that is what. So basically, it's all about a change in lifestyle and adapting to the new times.
You've been always focusing on lifestyle changes, and especially during the COVID crisis, what we have seen, Earth also got some reprieve. And we have seen from areas, videos of birds, of animals coming back on the roads, back on the habitats. And this has again shown that we need to realize it is not some pandemic which makes us think and realize that we have to stop a little bit. Please, I would like to hear your views about this. Well, God forbid we don't want another pandemic. But how serious is this issue of environmental change, climate change, and what we need to do?
So I believe that with all the various environmental problems that we are facing today all over the world, whether it's climate change, whether it's plastics pollution, air pollution, species extinction, deforestation, the biggest threat to our species as the human species is the constant thought that we have that somebody else will make a difference. We're always waiting for corporates to make a difference, leaders, politicians, NGOs, intergovernmental bodies to make a difference. When the truth is that, that we need to look inwards and we need to look within ourselves and bring about behavioral change within our own lives. And that's the only way we can actually make a difference when it comes to climate change, which is the biggest existential crisis we've faced. Mm-hmm. Now, when it comes to climate change, in the past, everybody have always been saying that nothing will happen because, people will continue wanting to go out in their cars. People will continue wanting to fly in planes. People will want to continue consuming a lot. And, and people will not change their behaviors. Governments will not change their stance. But then this pandemic has clearly shown us that when you can prove to the people that there is imminent danger to their own lives or to the lives of their loved ones, people are capable of mass behavioral change in a very short period of time. So basically, I think we need to carry on these learnings from the pandemic, and we need to carry this on much after the pandemic issue is mitigated, simply because the cost of lives when it comes to a pandemic like this is just too much to save the environment. So what we need to do is that we need to ensure that we are responsible enough so that we do not have to, destroy so many lives in order to save the environment.
Absolutely. And for that reason, what needs to be done, that is the most crucial point, because as you said, finger pointing is done, and that the governments are not doing anything, that the others are not doing anything. But as an individual, what needs to be done, that is what needs to be focused, and that is what you have been propagating wherever you have been going. So let's talk a little bit about that, as to how we should think about those lifestyle changes which can help the environment, as well as what we are seeing, the crisis that we are facing on the planet Earth.
I guess it's all about consuming less. That's all. The bottom line is just consume less of everything that you've been consuming. Because the thing is that as of now, the only paradigm that dictates what we can buy, what we can consume, what we can waste is basically, how financially sound you are, how much I can afford. Basically, how much you can financially afford dictates how much you can buy, consume, and waste. Whereas that paradigm needs to change to how much the planet can afford. We have to constantly think about how much the planet can afford before, we fill in fuel into our cars, before we buy tickets to aeroplanes, before we, consume a lot of, food, or we waste food and things like that. So I guess the bottom line is, at the end of the day, the bottom line is just about consuming less and living within the means of the planet.
Mm-hmm. Also, you have been talking about land degradation, desertification, and drought, which has become a common feature now. Now, here again, it all depends on as to the kind of lifestyle that we've adopted. So over here, what do you feel? Again, as you have said, that live within your means. But again, during the pandemic, this was quite prevalent on our minds. But as the lockdowns are opening, we are seeing again the same kind of mentality that is coming back. So again, how to put into the mind that this is a normal feature which we need to realize and start working on that?
I guess it's all about communication at the end of the day, in the sense that, as I mentioned, when it came to the pandemic, people saw that there was imminent danger to their own lives or to the lives of their loved ones. And that's why people acted in huge numbers, and people took action, people changed their behaviors and all of that stuff. So it needs to be communicated strongly enough, and I think that's where artists come into the picture, and the media comes into the picture to showcase that that climate change is truly an existential crisis, and it's a crisis much bigger than what the pandemic is. So basically, in layman's terms, I believe that the PR agent of the pandemic needs to be hired by climate change, so that people make the same differences in their lives when it comes to climate change, and understand that climate change is a huge crisis.
Absolutely. Ricky, you hold a lot of positions with the United Nations. You are the UNICEF India Celebrity Supporter, UNESCO Global Ambassador for Kindness, and also the Ambassador for the Earth Day Network. So it's time for a short break. We'll go for a break. We'll be back and learn a little bit more as to what all do you do with these roles, and what all we can do supporting each other to have a sustainable and peaceful living on this planet Earth. So we'll be shortly back. ਦਰਦ ਤੋਂ ਆਰਾਮ ਐਲੋਪੈਥਿਕ ਦਵਾਈਆਂ ਖਾਣ ਨਾਲ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ, ਪਰ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਸਾਈਡ ਇਫੈਕਟਸ ਵੀ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਨ। ਨੈਚੁਰਲ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਦੇ ਸਪਲੀਮੈਂਟਸ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਦਰਦ ਨੂੰ ਜੜੋਂ ਖਤਮ ਕਰਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਾਰਕਸ ਫਾਰਮੇਸੀ ਦੇ ਹਿੰਦੀ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਬੋਲਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਸਟਾਫ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਮਦਦ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਨ। ਇਹ ਆਪਣੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਡਕਟਸ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਦੇ ਹਰ ਹਿੱਸੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਭੇਜਦੇ ਹਨ। ਅਪਾਇੰਟਮੈਂਟ ਬੁੱਕ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ ਅੱਜ ਹੀ ਕਾਲ ਕਰੋ 604 596 1774 ਜਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਵਿਜ਼ਿਟ ਕਰੋ 8035 120 ਸਟਰੀਟ ਡੈਲਟਾ। ਦਰਦ ਨੂੰ ਜੜੋਂ ਖਤਮ ਕਰੋ।
ਘਰ ਇੱਕ ਐਸੀ ਥਾਂ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਹਰ ਕੋਈ ਆਪਣੀ ਨਿੱਜੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਦੇ ਸੁਨਹਿਰੀ ਪਲ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖਦਾ ਹੈ। ਉਹ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਉਹ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਪਿਆਰ ਭਰਿਆ ਜੀਵਨ ਬਤੀਤ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ। ਇਹ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਪੂਰੀਆਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਜਦ ਕਿਸੇ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਨੂੰ ਸਜੇ ਹੋਏ ਘਰ 'ਚ ਬਦਲਿਆ ਜਾਵੇ। ਨਵੇਂ ਘਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਫਰੇਮਿੰਗ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਫਿਨਿਸ਼ਿੰਗ ਤੱਕ, ਡ੍ਰੇਪਰੀ, ਪੇਂਟਿੰਗਸ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਡੈਕੋਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਅਸੈਸਰੀਜ਼ ਤੱਕ, ਤੁਸੀਂ SK ਹੋਮ ਡਿਜ਼ਾਈਨਸ ਦੀਆਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਸਰਵਿਸਿਜ਼ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਸੁਪਨਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਹਕੀਕਤ 'ਚ ਬਦਲ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਕੰਟੈਕਟ ਕਰੋ ਸੰਦੀਪ ਕੌਰ 6048259295।
ਕੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਰੀ, ਡੈਲਟਾ, ਰਿਚਮੰਡ, ਐਬਸਫੋਰਡ ਜਾਂ ਵੈਂਕੂਵਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਵਾਂ ਘਰ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਬਾਰੇ ਸੋਚ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਜਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਪੁਰਾਣੇ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਰੈਨੋਵੇਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੋ? ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਲੋੜ ਹੈ ਇੱਕ ਤਜਰਬੇਕਾਰ ਬਿਲਡਰ, ਇੱਕ ਕ੍ਰੀਏਟਿਵ ਇੰਟੀਰੀਅਰ ਡਿਜ਼ਾਈਨਰ ਦੀ, ਜੋ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਹੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਗਾਈਡ ਕਰ ਸਕਣ ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸੁਪਨੇ ਦੇ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਉਸਾਰ ਸਕਣ। ਅੱਜ ਹੀ ਕਾਲ ਕਰੋ ਹਰਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਜਾਂ ਸੰਦੀਪ 6048259295 ਉੱਤੇ। ਭਾਰਤ ਪੈਸੇ ਭੇਜਣੇ ਹੋਣ ਜਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਮੰਗਵਾਣੇ ਹੋਣ ਤੇ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖੋ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਫੋਰੈਕਸ ਨੂੰ ਤਸੱਲੀਬਖਸ਼ ਸੇਵਾਵਾਂ ਅਤੇ ਵਧੀਆ ਰੇਟ ਦੇਣ ਦੀ ਇਹ ਗਾਰੰਟੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਨ। ਅੱਜ ਹੀ ਕਾਲ ਕਰੋ 6043491313 ਉੱਤੇ।
Once again, welcome back to the program. Every day at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I am doing live programs, and I'm thankful to all of you that you spare your valuable time and be a part of this program. And if you also want to be a part of this program, you can contact me at 604-603-7555 or my email at harpreetsingh@gmail.com. Our idea is to educate, inspire, and empower you, and that is the reason people from or personalities from different backgrounds from all over the world come on this program and interact with you. Today we are very proud that we have Rickey Kej, who is a humanitarian, environmentalist, a Grammy Award winner, and most of all, the best part of his life has been that he preaches, not only just preaches, he walks the talk. That is very important, and that is why the roles that he is holding, and he's been going across and talking about sustainability and peaceful living. So once again, let's welcome back Rickey and continue with the discussion with him. And if you have any questions, you can send it to me on Facebook or YouTube, and we will love to have that answer back from Rickey Kej. So Rickey, you hold numerous positions in the United Nations also. When you go all over the world, I remember interacting with you and you say people all over the world are good. Wherever you go, the love, affection, kindness that you see in their eyes is prevalent all over. But what happens when we talk in general terms, that the kind of crisis that we are seeing in the world, fighting over religion, fighting over land, fighting over various petty issues, and then we forget the basic goodness. So can you tell us your role in these particular cases as to how when you go, you play a role through your music compositions and try to bring the world together?
So I believe that, just like in music, you have an orchestra. And you have all these various seemingly different instruments. Like, for example, you have a violin, you have a piano, and then you have like a tuba, which is like a really loud instrument, and then you have percussion instruments. So all these seemingly different instruments come together in an orchestra in perfect harmony, and it sounds beautiful as one. I believe that that is a very good example of how the world needs to exist. In terms of that you have people of different ideologies, you have people with different religions, different political backgrounds, different skin colors, different races, but without compromising on each and every person's individuality, what we need to do is that we need to bring everybody together in perfect harmony and to work as one. So I believe that music can be a beautiful catalyst for driving people from awareness of all these issues into actually bringing about action. And that's the reason why I use music as a tool, because music is not only a beautiful language for communicating a message, but also for retaining that message deep into the consciousness of a listener. Like, for example, the songs that we learned during our childhood are songs that we never forget. So that's how I use music. And so basically that. And I believe that every single child in this world is born with a lot of compassion, is born with empathy, is born with with all these beautiful qualities. But then we systematically, through the education system and through of nurturing children, we are just erasing that from children. So I believe that we need to start with the young, and we need to ensure that that these qualities that they're born with are not lost.
Right. Rickey, I have a question, and the question is very nice. The question says that is this issue of climate change really serious? This gentleman says that sometimes it is said that the world is cooling down, and sometimes it's said that it's heating up. So it's difficult to believe what is happening. So because you have been traveling all over the world and visiting areas which have been really affected by environmental changes, what would you rate this issue as? How serious is this issue?
No, I guess the question is very valid. At the end of the day, that's why it's called climate change. It's not about the whole world heating up. Because when some parts are heating up, obviously some parts are going to become a little colder. So it's basically a shift in the way that we perceive our climate. And so that's what climate change is all about, that everything is changing basically, like in the sense that places are becoming hotter, places are becoming colder, natural disasters are becoming far worse than they used to. And it's all because of human activity. And this is going to be affecting humans in the long run. Now, as you said, I've visited places which are affected very badly by climate change. Like, for example, the Pacific Island nations, which is an example that I always use. So there is an island nation called Kiribati, which is right in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. They are 21 inhabited islands, and they are said to be that it's predicted that they're going to be the first country in the world to go completely underwater. In the next 30 to 40 years, the tallest point in any of the 21 islands is going to be completely submerged underwater. There are islands, previously inhabited islands in that country, which have already gone completely underwater, and people have had to evacuate. It's said that almost 1 million people in the next couple of decades are going to be made to evacuate from their homes and evacuate from their villages or their countries, because they live in coastal areas, and they're going to be completely submerged. And these people are going to form a new type of refugees, and that is known as climate refugees. So basically, this is a really, really serious problem. Not just because of coastal areas going underwater, but also because the natural disasters are becoming worse and worse, as we can see every year. So I guess this is a problem that we really need to take very seriously.
I have another question, and that's very interesting. They have taken your statement, what you gave at the United Nations General Assembly, where you had, after performance, you said, to end, I want to state the obvious. Climate change is real, climate change is human-induced, and climate change is affecting us all, and our actions affect countries on the other side of the world. This is what you had said. The question is, has the United Nations been able to play the right role in controlling this issue, or is it just related only to the performances and seminars only?
Now, see, the United Nations at the end of the day is a conglomerate of various member states, about 195 right now. So the way the United Nations works is basically they need to get a consensus from all these countries, and only then function. They're not a policing organization, nor are they an organization which can actually demand action from countries. Countries have to voluntarily perform actions. So the thing is that the United Nations has been doing everything they can, because all that they can do is give recommendations to countries, and based on the scientific knowledge and their intergovernmental panels on climate change, that is the scientific consensuses that they have actually created for showcasing the actual effects of climate change and various ways to mitigate the effects of climate change, are quite solid. But it's up to the countries and it's up to individuals and people all over the world to actually adopt those practices and to actually mitigate the effects of climate change as the United Nations recommends. So I believe that the United Nations is doing their job, and I think they're doing their job really, really well. It's up to countries to adopt those practices, and it's up to individuals to change their behaviors and change their lifestyles to actually mitigate the effects.
Absolutely, that's very true, because United Nations is not a policing agency. It is just to recommend, and that's what it has been doing. But it again depends upon the leaders, and unfortunately we have many leaders, international leaders, who still do not consider climate change to be real, and it is just mitigated to the background. But then comes the work of humanitarianists, environmentalists like you, who raise this issue through music and try to bring the people together on a platform where that awareness is there, and then they can raise their voice further on their leaders so that something can be done. Lot about environmental issues, what we have talked now. What are your future plans? We know that 2015 you won the Grammy Award for Shanti Samsara, that music album, which was inaugurated in the United Nations only by the Indian Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, and then the French President. So what are your future plans? What are you now working on, which people should be waiting for?
So I'm working on a multitude of projects, actually. So one project which is really close to my heart is I'm working with the UNHCR, that is the United Nations Refugee Agency. And so what I'm doing is that I'm collaborating with a total of 20 refugees who are currently living in India, mainly from Afghanistan and Myanmar. And these 20 refugees are actually pretty good musicians. So we've identified these good musicians, and I'm going to be mentoring them over the next 2 months. And at the end of 2 months, I'm going to be releasing a song with all of them. So that is something, that is a project which is really close to my heart. And a second project is a project called My Earth Songs, where I've created these 15 songs based on sustainability for children. So they all are very simple songs. They are very easy for children to learn. One listen and it's stuck in their head. Very positive, very energetic. And what we're doing is that we're disseminating this through the education system. Currently, we are in already 4.9 million textbooks across India and across different parts of the world. Wow. Because, I believe that we need to start this conversation on conservation and on sustainability at a very young age. So this is my endeavor in doing that.
Oh, that's commendable. So in the Indian schools, in the textbooks, this is being taught now?
Yes, exactly. It's being taught right now in over 4 million textbooks in India alone. Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's great. As a humanitarian also, what you talked about conservation and environmental issues, but we also find that you've been talking about how the poverty rate is increasing, especially the children who are suffering, the refugees and all the other crises that we are facing as a world. So as ambassador for various organizations, when you go and talk about these issues, where do we stand today, and what as a common person would you demand from the people they should be a part of this movement?
So even though at the core of my being, I'm an environmentalist and the environment is the main focus of my causes and my music, I realized after doing this for quite a few years, especially in a country as complicated as India, I realized that you cannot take the environment in complete isolation from other issues, simply because there is surviving and then there is thriving. And if you go to a village in India or you go to a tier 2 city or something like that where there is adjunct poverty and people do not have a good standard of living, and you tell them that, let's make a better world for our children and our children's children, they're going to laugh at you and say, what about me? I do not have money for food to eat, and my children do not have education and things like that. So basically, until you get the surviving in place, what people feel that people feel perceivably as surviving, only then people are going to want to thrive. And with the Western nations, they've already hit that button of surviving. So basically, you can talk about thriving. So basically, I feel that that is when I realized that I need to expand my horizon and I need to expand my workflow so that I can affect all these other problems before I can get people sold on on actually working towards making mitigating the effects of environmental disasters and climate change and things like that. So that is the reason why I work on a multitude of things, because my focus is on the environment, but you have to get the basics right so that people feel that they can survive enough to thrive.
Absolutely, it's really commendable the kind of work that you're doing, and we are proud of the work that has been done. If anybody wants to know more about the work that has been done by you, where can they visit? What is your website or your email address?
So they can, so people can go on my social media. I'm across on all social media. They can email me on music@rickeykej.com. That is music@rickyej.com. Or they can go to my website. That is www.rickeykej.com.
Wonderful. It was a pleasure talking to you, Ricky. Thank you very much. As always, we love to have you back again with the new work that you are doing. And thank you very much for sparing your time. And once again, best wishes and thank you and stay safe.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ricky. So ਇਹ ਸਨ ਰਿਕੀ ਕੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਮਸ਼ਹੂਰ ਗ੍ਰੈਮੀ ਅਵਾਰਡ ਵਿਨਰ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਅਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਫੋਕਸ ਹੈਗਾ এনवायरमेंट ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ, ਹਿਊਮੈਨਿਟੇਰੀਅਨ ਐਫਰਟਸ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਹੈਗਾ ਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਜੋ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੈ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੁਣਿਆ ਕਿ ਕਲਾਈਮੇਟ ਚੇਂਜ ਇਜ਼ ਰੀਅਲ, ਇਹ ਇੱਕ ਬੜਾ ਵੱਡਾ ਕ੍ਰਾਈਸਿਸ ਹੈਗਾ ਜਿਸ ਕਾਰਨ ਆਉਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਸਮੇਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਤਕਲੀਫਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਨੂੰ ਵੇਖਣੀਆਂ ਪੈਣਗੀਆਂ। ਇਸੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਲਾਈਫ ਸਟਾਈਲ ਨੂੰ ਹੁਣੇ ਹੀ ਚੇਂਜ ਕਰਕੇ ਕਲਾਈਮੇਟ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰਤੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਸੁਹਿਰਦ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਜੇਕਰ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨਾ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਤਾਂ ਇਹ ਧਰਤੀ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਚਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਹਰ ਰੋਜ਼ ਸ਼ਾਮ ਦੇ 7 ਵਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਸਾਥ ਹੋਇਆ ਕਰਦਾ, ਜਿਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿ ਵੱਖਰੇ ਵੱਖਰੇ ਮੁੱਦਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਵੱਖਰੀ ਵੱਖਰੀ ਸ਼ਖਸੀਅਤਾਂ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਭਰ ਤੋਂ ਆ ਕੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਂਝ ਪਾਉਂਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਜੇਕਰ ਇਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦਾ ਹਿੱਸਾ ਬਣਨਾ ਚਾਹੋ ਜਾਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਹੋ ਜੋ ਕਿ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕੁਝ ਦੱਸ ਸਕੇ ਤਾਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਸੰਪਰਕ ਕਰੋ 604 603 7555 ਜਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਈਮੇਲ ਜ਼ਰੀਏ ਸੰਪਰਕ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ harpreetsingh@gmail.com। ਧੰਨਵਾਦੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਪਾਂਸਰਸ ਦੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਬਦੌਲਤ ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮਸ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਤੱਕ ਪਹੁੰਚਦੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਪਾਂਸਰ ਨੇ AMC ਇੰਸ਼ੋਰੈਂਸ। ਹਫਤੇ ਦੇ 7 ਦਿਨ ਖੁੱਲ੍ਹੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ, 9 ਬ੍ਰਾਂਚਿਸ ਨੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਲੋਅਰ ਮੇਨਲੈਂਡ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਲਾਈਫ, ਡਿਸੇਬਿਲਿਟੀ, ਹੋਮ, ਆਟੋ, ਟਰੈਵਲ, ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਜਾਂ ਰਿਕ੍ਰੀਏਸ਼ਨਲ ਇੰਸ਼ੋਰੈਂਸ ਲੈਣੀ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖੋ AMC ਇੰਸ਼ੋਰੈਂਸ ਨੂੰ। 6045076666 604 507 6666 ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਫੋਨ ਨੰਬਰ ਹੈ। ਸਾਡੇ ਦੂਸਰੇ ਸਹਿਯੋਗੀ ਹਨ ਅਹੀਰ ਟਰਾਂਸਪੋਰਟੇਸ਼ਨ। 1993 ਤੋਂ ਇਹ ਟਰਾਂਸਪੋਰਟੇਸ਼ਨ ਅਤੇ ਸਟੋਰੇਜ ਇੰਡਸਟਰੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਅਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਮੋਟੋ ਹੈ ਯੋਰ ਕਾਰਗੋ ਇਜ਼ ਆਰ ਰਿਸਪੌਂਸਿਬਿਲਿਟੀ। ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਭਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿਤੇ ਵੀ ਆਪਣਾ ਕਾਰਗੋ ਪਹੁੰਚਾਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੋ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਤੇ ਡਿਪੈਂਡ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। 8970 ਰਿਵਰ ਰੋਡ ਡੈਲਟਾ, ਫੋਨ ਨੰਬਰ ਹੈ 6049409511 ਜਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਈਮੇਲ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ shinda@ahir.com। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਵੈਬਸਾਈਟ ਹੈ ahir.com। ਸਾਡੇ ਅਗਲੇ ਸਹਿਯੋਗੀ ਹਨ ਰੀਕਾ ਮਾਨ ਸਿੰਘ, ਇੱਕ ਰਜਿਸਟਰਡ ਡਾਇਟੀਸ਼ੀਅਨ ਹਨ। ਜੇਕਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਡਾਇਬਟੀਜ਼, ਮੋਟਾਪਾਪਨ, ਹਾਰਟ ਡਿਜ਼ੀਜ਼ਜ਼, ਫੂਡ ਐਲਰਜੀਜ਼, ਗੈਸਟ੍ਰੋਇੰਟੇਸਟਾਈਨਲ ਡਿਸਆਰਡਰਸ, ਮੈਂਟਲ ਹੈਲਥ ਇਸ਼ੂਜ਼ ਜਾਂ ਓਵਰਆਲ ਸਿਹਤ ਤੇ ਵੈਲਨੈਸ ਬਾਰੇ ਜਾਣਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੋ ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੰਪਰਕ ਕਰੋ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ। ਇਹ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਹੀ ਗਾਈਡੈਂਸ ਦੇਣਗੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਖਾਣ ਪੀਣ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਦੇ ਚੇਂਜਸ ਲਿਆਉਂਦੇ ਜਾਣ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਿਹਤਮੰਦ ਹੋ ਸਕੋ। 7782405951 778 240 5951 ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਫੋਨ ਨੰਬਰ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਵੈਬਸਾਈਟ ਹੈ ricadiet4wellness.com। ਈਮੇਲ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ info@ricadiet4wellness.com। ਧੰਨਵਾਦੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਸਹਿਯੋਗੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮਸ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਤੱਕ ਲਿਆਉਣ ਸਾਡੀ ਮਦਦ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਮਾਂ ਕੱਢ ਕੇ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਭਰ ਚੋਂ ਸ਼ਾਮਲ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੋ। ਸੋ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੀ ਕਰਦਾ ਇੱਥੇ ਹੀ ਸਮਾਪਤੀ। ਕੱਲ ਸ਼ਾਮ ਨੂੰ ਫਿਰ ਮਿਲਾਂਗੇ ਇੱਕ ਨਵੇਂ ਮੁੱਦੇ ਨਾਲ। ਤਦ ਤੱਕ ਦਿਓ ਆ ਗਿਆ। ਹੈਵ ਅ ਸੇਫ ਈਵਨਿੰਗ ਐਂਡ ਸਟੇ ਸੇਫ। ਵੈਨਕਾਸਾ ਟਾਈਲ ਅਤੇ ਸਟੋਨ ਸ਼ੋਰੂਮ ਇੱਕ ਐਸੀ ਥਾਂ ਹੈ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਹੋਲਸੇਲ ਕੀਮਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਹਰ ਕਿਸਮ ਦੀਆਂ ਟਾਈਲਸ, ਸਟੋਨ, ਮਾਰਬਲ, ਬੈਕਸਪਲੈਸ਼, ਮੋਜ਼ੇਕ ਆਦਿ ਵਾਜਬ ਕੀਮਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਮਿਲ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ। ਇਟਾਲੀਅਨ, ਸਪੈਨਿਸ਼, ਚਾਈਨੀਜ਼ ਪੋਰਸਲਨ ਜਾਂ ਸਿਰੈਮਿਕ ਟਾਈਲਸ ਜਾਂ ਮਾਰਬਲ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਆਰਡਰ ਤੇ ਜਾਂ ਕਲੀਅਰੈਂਸ ਤੇ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਮਾਲਕ ਡਾਇਰੈਕਟ ਟਾਈਲਸ ਇੰਪੋਰਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਨ, ਜਿਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਵਧੀਆ ਕੁਆਲਿਟੀ ਦਾ ਸਮਾਨ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਘਰ ਦਾ ਸ਼ਿੰਗਾਰ ਬਣਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਅੱਜ ਹੀ ਵਿਜ਼ਿਟ ਕਰੋ 1304 84 ਐਵਨਿਊ ਸਰੀ। ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਹਿੰਦੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ ਕਾਲ ਕਰੋ 604 330 7363 604 330 7363।
My name is Jeevan Bath, and I'd like to tell you why you should purchase your next vehicle from Suki Bath Motors. Suki Bath has been selling quality pre-owned vehicles for 37 years. All of our vehicles come with a certified inspection report, and history reports are available for all vehicles. All of our sales staff is fully licensed. We promise to give you the best customer service experience. Last but not least, we provide financing for everybody, regardless of your credit situation. Visit SukiBathMotors.com today.